Having a safe and conducive learning environment that encourages students to enjoy the whole process of knowing new things is important. Comfortable physical space where children are able to sit comfortably and freely express their ideas to their classmates and teachers and exploring different aspects of different subjects and themselves. See and understand what their teacher is saying, as well as socialize with their fellow classmates is one of the major components of a conducive learning environment. By engaging in this activity, we are exposed to a different educational setting and are more equipped to create a secured and comfortable learning atmosphere. You will discover the various techniques and approaches to maximize the participation of the students in the various classrooms activities as we fully immerse in a learning environment.
Based on our observation, a classroom must be well organized, clean, and neat. Also, the atmosphere of the classroom must have few educational designs so that the learners can gain some knowledge to it. The learners interact and communicate actively on the discussion. Also, the teacher created an activity that is creative, entertaining, yet informative. The teacher also integrates multimedia elements that is connected to their lesson. If the learners can't understand the used medium of instruction during the discussion, the teacher will explain it using Filipino language in order for them to understand it very well.
Additionally, remind them of the basic classroom rules before, during, and after the class to maintain good behavior during discussion. Another is the use of instructional materials. Here, the teacher used television and audio to make the lesson informative yet enjoyable. It is very important as well to make use of energizers such as songs and videos that are connected to the lesson. This will make the discussion flow smoothly. During discussion, make sure to maintain to acknowledge the achievements of students to develop and maintain their interest in the lesson. And lastly, wrap up the lesson. This will serve as a review for the student and most important, according to teacher Carlina and Aquino, a grade 2 teacher, always make sure that the students will go home with knowledge that they obtained from the lesson.
During our observation, we noticed that a typical classroom is structured. The chairs of the learners were facing the board where the teacher does the discussion. They have their own classroom inside their classroom, and there were also cabinets and shelves. Moreover, the classroom was well organized and full of educational materials such as alphabets attached to the wall and some flashcards. The classroom atmosphere was safe and conducive to learning because the environment promotes positive learning among students. When it comes to the teacher-learner interaction, during the discussion, the learners actively participate in the lesson, especially during the conduct of the activity presented by the teacher. The teacher also communicates with students and builds positive relationships to help them learn better. Additionally, teacher Carlina used the question and answer inquiry method and different activities to motivate her students to participate in class discussions, such as letting her students use their whiteboards to answer her questions, asking them for their reasonings regarding their answers, and giving collaborative activities.
Learning takes place not just in the classroom, but also in different spaces and areas in life. When teacher creates a safe and conducive learning environment, meaning to say teacher want to encourage students to enjoy the whole process of knowing new things is important. Schools are considered to be a second home of students as they spend a huge chunk of their daily life in it. At the same time, Feel comfortable in exploring different aspects of different subjects. Feel motivated to do the right thing and help one another. Furthermore, a safe learning environment with clear boundaries also helps teachers to manage discussions on sensitive issues with greater confidence. Students are more likely to connect with their schools and communities. If they have a positive, trusting relationship with their teachers, positive relationships and attitudes among teachers and students can support an environment in which students feel safe and learning takes place. As we observe how teachers set rules for students throughout the class, we have realized how these rules and regulations are important to maintain the discipline, attention, and focus of the learners all throughout the lesson. These rules should be reminded by teachers to students from time to time and not just at the beginning of the lesson. As future educators, we have created rules and regulations for learners that we think will be most effective in creating a safe and conducive environment. These are: respect your teacher and classmates as well as you respect your parents, clean the room before you go, be on time in entering the class, avoid distractions such as creating noises, raise your hand if you want to recite, do not bully your classmates, do not murmur if the teacher is talking in front, do not be afraid to ask for help, and learn from your mistakes. Aside from these rules and regulations, teachers may also integrate values to remind students of proper etiquette while delivering a discussion.
There are guidelines that should be employed in creating classroom rules so that it becomes more effective to the learners and can easily follow and comply. The first is that regulations should be as precise as possible in classroom. Second, be affirmative rather than negative when stating your guidelines. Say, speak quietly in class, for instance, rather than don't yell in class. The third quality is adaptable. Periodically assess the efficiency of your policies. Change a rule if it doesn't seem to be working at any point in time. Fourth, keep your regulations to a minimum. No more than 5 rules should be present. The final component should be sensible. Establish rules that make sense.
Creating a safe and conducive learning environment involves several key elements. Classroom management. Establish clear rules and expectations from the beginning. Consistency in enforcing these rules is crucial to maintain a safe atmosphere. Building relationships. Foster positive relationships with your students. Show empathy, respect, and care for their well-being, both academically and personally. Physical environment. Ensure that the physical classroom is organized, free from hazard, and provide space for collaboration and individual work. Emotional safety. Encourage a non-judgmental atmosphere where students feel comfortable expressing their thoughts and ideas. Effective communication. Clearly communicate lessons, expectations, and feedback. Encourage questions and discussions. By focusing on these aspects, you can create a safety and conducive learning environment that promotes the growth and development of your students.